Sairam, how do you know you have a spiritual path? The calling is not from somewhere outside. Calling is always from within. When the calling, in other words, the quest, the want to know, it goes back to the same question. One fundamental question which triggers this thought and opens a path. The question is, who am I? Anybody who gets that question or that quest, when they get that quest and the question, they start inquiring. That is where the path begins. The path is not about traveling anywhere outside of you. The path is to travel within you. When you walk deep within, there is no path. Path disintegrates. Destination is your true self. There is nothing which is outside of you. So is it necessary to have a path? So the moment when it comes to a path, we start thinking about different yogic school or order or religious orders or religious paths and so on and so forth. There your superficial self is walking into that trap and finally getting into a bigger chaos. If you really want to see a path, you have to walk within. You don't have to walk anywhere outside. Whatever these spiritual teachings and practices are, only to indicate, guide, and show you the path to within, the path to your true self. So when the question arises in everybody's mind, who am I? And there are 5 sub-questions. So when these self-inquiry begins, the 5 sub-questions being, who am I? The fundamental question. They know that they are not the body. That is when the question comes. If one is identifying themselves as a body, there is nothing to ask. Yes, I know that I am the body. The question is, when I am sure that I am not the body only, and I reside in the body, that is when the question arises, who I am. Now, for the question to come, who am I, there is a understanding behind that question, which is who I am not. When you know that you are not the body, then the question comes, who am I? Right? So without knowing who you are not, you can't know who you are. So that gives rise to the some more questions, which is, since I am not the body only, I reside in the body, so I am identified by the body as a body also. Where have I come from? So that is another question. Then, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I have come from. Why am I here? Right? So who am I? I don't know. Where have I come from? I don't know. Why am I here? I don't know. What am I supposed to do now that I am here? I don't know. Then comes another question. Who am I? Where have I come from? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Then finally, since I have come from somewhere, whom do I belong to? Because sense of belongingness In other words, sense of origin. Quest is, where have I come from? Whom do I belong to? So I don't have an answer for these 5 questions. Who am I? Where have I come from? Why am I here? Whom do I belong to? What am I supposed to do? If we have no answer, and finally the body withers away, then where am I going to go? So when these questions starts lingering in your mind, more often everybody depend on the religious text or some gurus, some so-called gurus, lot of things. It is a chaos. If you are a person who is materialistic, your life is much better. You have nothing much to worry. You just have to earn, enjoy, someday go, without knowing what it is. But when you have these questions, where the problem begins, the difference between existing and living. If you are existing, you have no questions. If you are living, you have questions and questions. Then you start, these questions will arise, then you will know that you need a path. The path on which you walk, and when you walk, eventually that path takes you to your true self. It is not outside of you, it is with you and within you, which is you identifying yourself. Finding an answer for all these 6 questions. At that point of time, you know that you have a calling and the paths open up, right? This is my answer to the question, how do I know when I have a calling?